It's not even February yet in the year 2024, and we've had some of the craziest things that I can imagine happen. We have come close to civil conflict that, with the snap of an announcement, could turn into civil war. We've had threats and became very close, and we are right now, to World War III, which you could argue is already happening. But another story pops up, and this one is crazy. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't even know where we are right now. Man beheads his federal employee father and posts video of a decapitated head on YouTube while calling for revolution. I'm not even going to finish saying all that. I don't know what you can and can't say. YouTube, this is for literally for educational purposes, to educate people how crazy 2024 is. Everyone, we need to slow down. At this pace, we're not going to make it. This video was on YouTube. This person allegedly unlived his dad at their home and then held a bag that contained that top portion of the body up during a YouTube video. I have not seen the video. It's been taken down. I know I could go somewhere to see it. This one might be one I sit out. I might sit out. Well, I've heard basically his manifesto, his speech. It's about a 14-minute video. I heard audio, and I'm going to play a clip from a Twitter Spaces from Raw Alerts. That's where I heard it. That, whatever, I don't know who does Raw Alerts, but they do a great job on breaking stories. So I'm going to pipe into that, as long as they don't play the 14-minute clip, because I don't think we can play that on YouTube, even just the audio. But this young man was arrested on Tuesday night, 2 hours from his home. This happened in Pennsylvania, and he did the Sub-Zero fatality from Mortal Kombat 1 on a 68-year-old federal government employee dad. When you say federal government employee, that could be anything. And it looks like this was I don't want to say probably administrative state type of employee. And I'll see if I can get into that more. I heard that on Raw Alerts. So that the job that the father had is relevant here. I can say that people are saying that this person was on every single time this stuff happens, what do they say? He was on the alert. What did they say? The system. He was on the radar of the FBI. Yeah. If I say the wrong thing about Dylan Mulvaney, I'm probably on the radar for the FBI. I think y'all need to prioritize, because when it came down to certain people, it was more than the radar. It was dogs, field, weapons pulled, everything. This person did it at their home in Levittown, 10 miles north of Trenton. Then displayed the head during a rant, blaming the federal government for woke mobs. And he went on a woke mobs type of rant. Very robotic, very inhumane, of course, with the head in a pot in like a Ziploc bag. This is crazy, man. It was on X before all the videos started getting taken down. I don't even think it was the beheading that got the videos taken down. I actually think they doxed a federal judge in the video. He did, and that's why they took it down. And talking about migrants, he claims, that are destroying the United States. The appalling 14-minute clip, I'm reading this from the Daily Mail, which remained on YouTube for 6 hours after it was posted. That's wild. Ray commented on the video. Ray and I were on a video where we were watching somebody else's video. It was like a movie style music video. And it wasn't really violent, but it was, it had stuff in it that you could tell if an algorithm picked up, they would kind of flag it. But maybe it's just they just do the audio. I don't know. Because if you just do it based on the audio, then I could see why it would be remain. But I think it was the audio that got ours. Ours got pulled down. Obviously, it wasn't 6 hours. We didn't do a 6 hour live. We used it from an intro. Our video was pulled down like within 5 minutes. So I don't know how this stays up for 6 hours and ours gets pulled down in 5 minutes. But it's weird what can stay up and what doesn't. A dude does this to his own father, or we didn't see the act on the video from what I heard. So allegedly, but then displays the head, which is what we saw, and it looks like a real head. We don't know that for sure. Well, I guess the authorities have confirmed that, but then that takes 6 hours to pull down. I don't know how that works. They don't have to answer for how that works. I guess that's how it works. It was posted but taken down by Tuesday evening. It sees this person hold up his father's head in a plastic bag. He says this is the top portion of Mike, a federal employee of over 20 years, and my father. He is now in hell for eternity as a traitor to his country. And that's the young man. This is man. We're in a different universe and space of time, man. I never heard anything like this in my life. I know we're all chasing views to a certain extent, but let's not do Mortal Kombat fatalities on fathers. I think that's crossing the line. GB, friend of the show, thanks for stopping by again, says my BS meter is pegged. Yeah, yours and mine as well. I think a lot of the times GB and I are on the same page. It's hard for your spidey sense to not start tingling.
Spider sense start tingling.
Oh, what happened to my volume? What happened to my spidey sense start tingling? The potted up. Okay, I potted it down because I have the spaces in there. I have the X spaces. I'm going to jump to that because there's great information in there. They do a great job at raw alerts. But if you're listening to this on X, you're going to listen to my video and the Twitter space, and you could just go to the Twitter space. But that's kind of funny. Let's bring that back. GB and I are on the same page a lot. It's hard for your spidey sense to not start tingling.
Spider sense start tingling.
And what that means is we'll see what the reaction will tell us everything. If the government uses this as an excuse to get more power, then you would be a fool for your spidey sense to not tingling. I won't know for sure, but I would absolutely have to discuss that. If this story fades away and they never try to use it to amass more power, then I won't bring up the op angle on it at all. People are doing some good work on this as far as reporting what's happening. Let's go to Elijah Schaefer, who's on top of this. A lot of people are. He had the video at first. The video is taken down. It's gone. And he called it the video of the MK Ultra experiment gone wrong. And I don't know that for sure. That's allegedly. His channel is still up on YouTube. They took C3P memes channel down for a miss. They said he had too many naked people on there, which is an absolute lie. And it's back up now, confirming that it was an absolute lie or mistake. But this dude's channel, allegedly, at least 55 minutes ago, his channel was still fine. So they went through, took down the video of the unheading of his father, but they left the channel, though. They're like, the channel's okay. I heard he has like 10 followers or something like that. So that's let me go to, I thought E had a good breakdown of there's a bill that I have not done work on to kind of study or, deep dive in. For these bills, you have to do a deep dive. But there's this militia bill. A lot of you might know about it. Now, let me see if I can find where he did it. This is the graphic video one. I think this is where he did it. Okay. So am I sharing my screen? Yeah. Not that you necessarily need to see it, but So the person who unheaded his father appears to be, this is according to Elijah Schaefer, he has the receipts here too though, appears to be in a federal lawsuit, yes, I did hear that, regarding student loans. He is allegedly now in custody and the body of his father was located. At the time when he posted this, YouTube had still refused to take the video off their platform, and Facebook is allowing his social media pages to remain up at this time. I don't think that's the case anymore. Well, I know the YouTube video is done. Suspicious timing. This is what I was talking about. Congress is currently trying to push an anti-militia bill. New legislation proposed in the House and Senate seeks to outlaw paramilitary activity, including patrolling and drilling. The federal law would add to state laws against the groups often described as militias. And I don't understand what is that? How could that even be illegal? They're trying to make it illegal. I have to look at the proposed bill. That is crazy. Because you could call almost anything a militia, like a neighborhood watch group, right? I have released my findings on Telegram, is what we see there from E. Let's go to the chat. Anybody know anything? What are your thoughts? Is this even worth talking about? I think it is. I think it is, because we don't know what the chess move is that can branch off of this. How long until MSNBC runs with this? I don't know. It's breaking news. Are they talking about it now? Who's on MSNBC now? I only watch Morning Joe. I don't even watch anybody else. I used to watch Tiffany Cross. I actually miss her show. Her show was actually pretty good. Oh, the Tunnels documentary came out with Dom Luker. Am I pronouncing his name wrong? Don Luker. Dang, a lot of news today. I didn't even know about the Fetterman and his wife thing. That came out at like 7 a.m. today. I didn't find out until 12 hours later. It's just too much news coming out, man. It's insane right now. But if you don't know Fetterman and his wife, I don't know what's happening with Fetterman and his wife, but his wife deleted all photos of him on social media or something like that. I don't know if they fell out. It sounds like they fell out, but I'm just bringing that up to say I didn't even know. I didn't even bring it up I went live earlier today, didn't even bring it up because I didn't even know about it. But MSNBC, are they live right now? No, I don't think they're doing anything live. They're so lame. But let's see. I don't know. I think Morning Joe will, but they take their orders from other people. So I don't know. Joe Scarborough probably doesn't know until he comes to the morning. He's asleep probably right now because they get up early. He won't even know until the producers tell him. And maybe Jonathan Lemire, who does Way Too Early now on MSNBC, we'll see from his show. Every single show on MSNBC now is the same show. You got a little bit of different personality because of the people, but it's the same topics. There's no disagreement on there. So you'll find out really soon. Of course, it's going to be tied into right wing and all that other kind of garbage. Phil says, if this is a true story, they will have all MAGA unlived. I mean, I don't want to be alarmist, but that's where this is trending. I mean, that's where the whole country is trending. That's all the LGBTQ movement is an anti-MAGA movement. Anybody's fine in there except if you wear red hat, DEI, all that. That's all it is. So I don't know. Ray says we got to do a full video on the moon landing being fake. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Matt Walsh, if you don't know, recently did a kind of a debunking of the moon landing, and I don't know. We'll talk, Ray. I don't know if I'm in the mood to do that or not. It's more my conversation on it is more now, right now at least. Maybe I'll be in a different mood tomorrow, but we're off topic a little bit. But I want to address this: is the moon landing? My take is, if you think it really happened, fine. I don't care. But if you're going to try and make people who don't believe it or are skeptical about it sound stupid, then you're the stupid one. And that includes Matt Walsh. There is plenty of evidence and a lack of evidence to support that we did it to be skeptical. So that's all I'm saying. The moon landing, I know, I agree. To me, it's like, are you crazy? Are you serious? I mean, it's not even, they claim that they used the Land Rover. Do you know how complicated, just to get to the moon and back, just to get to the moon. Yeah, you know what, Ray? We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that, Ray. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Matt Walsh looked like a moron. Yeah, and what Matt Walsh is coming from is he's saying you got to protect the accomplishment of the United States, and I'm like, you're actually not helping. You have to make sure that the United States accomplishments are real. You're actually just adhering to the deep state administrative state if you don't challenge them. Razzle Cherry says, are you aware that this guy made music? It's still on YouTube. I heard about it. All I heard, I have not listened to it. All I heard is that it's weird. I don't know what that means. I'm a big music person, so I am interested because people express themselves through music. It's hard not to think this dude is an op of some sort. I don't know if it's like he was on the radar and they let him go. I don't know, but it's hard not to think he's an op. So yeah, he made music, I guess. Still up. Okay. Razzle Cherry said it's unsettling and weird. Wow. That's an ominous thing there to say. And I trust your opinion. Let me bring up the spaces. They go on these spaces forever. They're on these spaces like for hours, I believe. 4 hours later, you'll see them in there. Let me see if I can find the X spaces. It should be over here. It's a popular one, so I hope it's still up here. I'm still learning about the spaces. How do you find them? See, where's my is it in premium? I don't. Why is this so hard? I had it up and then I kind of played around with it. I don't even have it anymore. So where is this? How do I find the spaces? I don't even know how to find the spaces. I guess this is my welcome to your boomer moment, but I feel like they could do a better job of that. So what I'm going to do is go to Raw Alerts because I know they hosted it. But if you don't know who hosted it, then you really out of luck. And I can click on their name and get in there. So let's listen to what they're saying on this. They give breaking news and great coverage.
Manifest into crimes, and that's exactly what this government, this FBI and DOJ is looking to do.
I mean, potentially. I mean, the potential is always there. I don't disagree with you at all. Of course, all of this is speculation. We don't know for sure. We just don't have enough information yet. I think more will be let out over the next few days. Coco, I'm gonna let you go.
So yeah, that's the concern that Alpha just mentioned, and I was messaging a sergeant too. But this kid, that his whole manifesto for 6 hours, this thing's been out. We still don't even have the full manifesto of what happened in at the school with the trans shootings and all this stuff. But this has been sitting here for 6 hours. This kid had 33-year-old. They caught him on a base. He had this diatribe of all these hits, he's had time to prepare. And unfortunately, his dad, looking at it, I've been in the military, combat medic. His dad had been dead for several hours. So he had time to clean up. I would venture to say he probably filmed what he filmed in his dad's room, but he had time to prepare. So, this dog whistle that he's going through all these things, it could be that narrative like, oh my god, the right is bad, they're all militia, they're all bad people, and it's like the J6 narrative. And I hate to say that, but he was very, if you guys know who Edmund Kemper is, very prepared. And unfortunately, it can be used against a political party.
And I agree. I'm going to bring that back up in a second. We'll just do little hits on that for areas of conversation and information. I'll go right back to the X spaces in a minute. So somebody in the chat says, this is the face of MAGA. I don't know if they're being sarcastic or not. They refuse to quickly decimate this cult. This is what right supports, and this is his name, Aphrodite. And that's what you can do, and that's why I've always said, and I think this should be, I should have phrased it as a criticism for MAGA. It needs to be more of a peaceful movement. Not that it's not. It needs to be a more it needs to lead with peace more. And I don't like having to qualify everything, but you have to. You have to. This is a branding thing. We are in a 5th generational civil war. And MAGA needs to learn from this that it needs to be a part. So right now it's God, family, country, and MAGA is just this vague idea, but I still think I can say it. It's a criticism. It needs to be God, family, country, peace. That's what it needs to be. Libertarianism, in my philosophy, built in is peace. And that's missing from the MAGA. That needs to be a part of the movement. I don't know who brands that, how that works, but I will be doing that going forward, because now you make it easy for these asshats. They would do it anyway, but I think the branding could help, and MAGA needs to be more peace. And you know what? I have backgrounds here because I've gone to the red and the black, which is, it's dark. But what I wanted to do, and I need to look at it here, I have different virtual backgrounds, and one of them has a dove in it. I did this on purpose for this. So it looks weird potentially, but I have backgrounds because I want to break up the black and the red with the white to make sure, one, this is not some type of demonic transformation, and two, this is a peaceful transformation. And I'm going to have to use, I don't know, that looks kind of whack to me, but that's the best picture of a dove I could find real quickly. But that signals peace, to soften. Like, if you threaten, I will defend myself, but this is a peaceful situation. This is a peaceful movement. And I think that's necessary. That has to be a part of the message. I've been talking about that, but I haven't tied it in too much with MAGA. I say if you roll with anybody who does not, at these times, when you're challenging the status quo, the people in charge, and you damn near have to do it every time. It is annoying, but you've got to say I would probably guess 90% of the time where I say secession, I always say peaceful. It's got to be at 80 to 90% of the time that I say it. At some point, peaceful. I don't just say secession because people don't know what secession is. Peaceful. It's like, you don't have to say peaceful divorce, do you? Meaning a divorce can be animus, but it can't. But it's not. When you say divorce, it doesn't mean physical, kinetic violence. But with secession, and that's all secession is a divorce between territories. You shouldn't have to say peace, but you do. And if you can't do that, I've been online and be like, are you about peace? I'll ask people straight up, are you about peace? And if they don't respond, or if they kind of equivocate, I'd be like, stay the hell away from me. Fed. Very, very important. To me, at least. Remember, yeah, I agree. GB says, remember, the South was invaded. That's exactly what happened. Toy Mafia, what's good, man? It's worth going live just to see Toy Mafia in the chat representing. Yo, this is a dark one, Toy. It's a dark one, man. We on some other stuff right now. Somebody make a list of everything that's happened in 2024. From people, peace. Thank you, Cat Pooch. Is that a woman in the chat? Is that a real woman? What did I say? We haven't had. Thank you, Cat Pooch, for stopping by. Channel's gone a little bit sausage heavy, and we need that balance. We need that. We need our own DEI. We need our own real. I actually do like diversity, like true diversity. We need our own diversity push on the channel, but I am about peace. That make no bones about that. Thank you, Cat Pooch. I'm always scared to read these names. Am I getting trolled? Like, Cat Pooch, does that mean something? I'll find out later if people clip it. But let's go back to the raw alert, see what they're talking about here. Oh, did they stop it? They stopped the live. So they've been on for quite a bit. Can we go to recorded? See, now I want to go to the recorded live because they talked about some good stuff on there. Here it is. Okay, here it is. I'm going to have to be careful here because I play some of the clip on there, but we'll go back to the beginning. This is probably the best part to do, is to go back to the beginning here. Let's see if it plays. Am I getting audio? No audio? Okay, let's see if I fast
blurred.
This is such.
Okay. So let's go to the
So
start of their X Spaces for Raw Alerts. We'll be starting here. This is a replay of Raw Alerts. Really, this should be MSNBC. This is telling you what's happening to mainstream corporate media. MSNBC doesn't have somebody that can go live and talk about this story. I mean, I know they would warp the story, but I think it's worth going live. This is breaking news, man. This is live. This is really important just to know what's going on in our country.
alrighty, let's get started on this bizarre, wild Tuesday night report. Diligent, would you like to make the report while I fix the post? Because it seems like a lot of reports are going on Twitter or X right now that a lot of people videos are getting removed with the beheading stuff. So I might have to make a couple edits, and then that should be good. So Diligent, up to you. Diligent, you there? Says he's currently glitched right now. Let me remove him and then bring him up.
So it looks like they're getting their Twitter
Sergeant,
space.
I'm quite curious what you're...
In the beginning there, they're just getting their Twitter space off. We'll go back to it in a second. Aphrodite says, you need to deep dive into the history of America, and you'll understand these people have never been about peace. Truth. They're turning on their own family members. Who do you think? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Aphrodite was talking about the government. Aphrodite's talking about MAGA. MAGA has always been about peace. How has MAGA not been about peace? They're turning on their own family members. Who do you think is next, brother? Well, what does that mean that MAGA's on peace or not? I know I'm on peace, so I can't control anybody else. Aphrodite, if you think MAGA hasn't been peaceful, are there any other groups in our country that have also been violent, you think, or more violent, just for consistency's sake? Because it sounds like it's just an anti-MAGA position, which is just that lame position. If you're consistent, then I'm fine with it. And my answer is, I don't care. I'm on peace. So that's all that matters to me. But I think MAGA is a peaceful movement.
Thoughts on this? So I'll invite you to speak, and then I'll accept the speakers.
Looks like they're still setting it up.
Glitching a little bit. Some of the co-host, Ross. Thank you. But welcome, everybody. Yeah, this is such a bizarre story we're about to cover. A man, I think he was in Philadelphia. Is he in Philadelphia or he's in Pennsylvania at least, right, Ross?
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. So a man in Pennsylvania apparently beheaded his father and then created a YouTube video, a long rant of a video in which he displayed his father's head. It was pretty atrocious. He also claimed that it was because of the corruption that's in our government. He made a very long...
Another disclaimer, I am not making any calls for anything. I am looking to present this information for educational purposes only.
Political statement. It was pretty wild to watch. Now, Ross posted an edited version of this video to X, and they have since taken it down where he had the graphic part blurred out, but they took down the entire video. We're still waiting to see what the word with that is. Ross, have you made an updated post? Where are you at with that?
The word about that is they can do whatever the hell they want to do. All of a sudden, they go to the digital realm, and reality doesn't. The laws of our society don't apply. Why is that? We need to take the laws we have and apply them to the universal digital realm. We can't have separate rules. Apple came out with the augmented reality glasses. Maybe I'll end with that to end on a happy note. The homie MKBHD did a video on that. Great channel, great. I like that dude a lot. And maybe we'll talk about some tech. But the tech is, it it presents a screen in front of you it's augmented reality. It's like Tony Stark, Iron Man, when you're moving the screen around. And my point is, as soon as you put those goggles on, the laws of the world don't apply anymore. Isn't that dangerous? Why are we standing for that? The moment you put down, and pretty soon they're going to be as thin as these. Can you imagine? This is what is going to happen. Bill of Rights. You've got whatever's left of the Bill of Rights. Put on your augmented reality glasses, no more Bill of Rights. Or there's some type of hybrid Bill of Rights. Because you will have augmented reality glasses and you could be connected to other people and you could be watching TV. You're in your own home and you're not covered under the First Amendment. So if Meta wanted to, I don't think they would, but I covered that story about the pro-Palestinian protest. They could have kids on Roblox do a pro-Palestinian protest in front of your eyes while you're watching TV because you bought their product. Insane stuff. Let's get back to the Twitter spaces here.
Certainly, I might just redo the whole thing and just post the not beheading video part. So that's probably a smart idea because it seems like this is happening to a lot of people that's posting the blurred one and just the full one. So
Right on. So what we're going to do is we'll probably play the video and listen to it together. The comments were wild. A lot of people. I said that I think we need to address mental health in our country at scale. That was.
I will not, just to be clear, I will not be playing even the audio of the video because there are calls to do bad, explicit calls to do bad things on the video. I will not, I'll skip through that.
Like the most viral comment, but there was
and they doxed the federal judge on it too. Address, I believe, and everything.
a lot of people because this guy apparently had. It sounded like he was, chastising the president, the current president. He brought up the border crisis, and so there was a lot of leftists blaming the right, saying that we're creating extremists. I definitely feel like we need to have a conversation about this. If you could go down to the bottom right corner, please repost the space. We're trying to get as many minds in here as we can. We want to get everybody's opinion. So definitely go down there and repost the space. Caroline, while I get this queued up, what do you think?
This is wild. I have Daily Mail up right now reading over this. So his dad was a government employee. The video was a 14-minute clip and was live on YouTube for 6 hours after it was posted. He held up his dad's head in a bloodied plastic bag. His dad worked for the federal government for over 20 years. And in the video, he says, "This is the head of Mike Mohn, a federal employee of over 20 years, and my father, he's now in hell for eternity as a traitor to this country." Lots of unhinged, bizarre behavior. I'm gonna keep reading through this.
So his Facebook is still up. I'm queuing up this. Let me get a hot mic. His Facebook is still up. I'm going to queue up the video. We're going to listen to the video together, and then we'll go over his social media because this guy has been ranting on about this. I saw back as far as 2020. There might be older posts, but this is not like a new thing. He has been ranting on pretty crazily for a number of years now. Jess, what did you see? You kind of just skimmed over his social media profile. What do you think?
Yeah, just looking over his Facebook and then just Googling his name, it looks like he's sued the United States government for lending him student loans without the promise of gainful employment 4 different times. He also tried suing Progressive Insurance for hiring him and then training him and then
let me bring that
promoted
back.
and
Sued
then
for what?
Didn't promote.
Sued them for what type of opportunity?
Of years now. Jess, what did you see? You kind of just skimmed over his social media profile. What do you think?
Yeah, just looking over his Facebook and then just Googling his name, it looks like he's sued the United States government for lending him student loans without the promise of gainful employment 4 different times.
Wow. So it sounds like the student loan lawsuit, based on her investigation, was suing the federal government for giving him loans without guarantees for employment, is what it sounds like there. That's wild.
He also tried suing Progressive Insurance for hiring him and then training him and then wanting to be promoted, and then they didn't promote him, so he brought a basis up on discrimination.
I'm gonna say that was a good idea. I'm gonna say that was a good move by Progressive not to advance this dude to supervisor. That was a close call, huh? Progressive's probably like, whew, that was a close one.
Against him because of his sex. And then his social media is Facebook has different books that he wrote, very, very disturbing, dark books that, yeah, I'm just, the last post that I saw was from December 31st of 2023 of his book, his final book called Pink. And yeah, I took screenshots of all of those. It's just very interesting,
Yeah.
very, very much a mental health situation here, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, did he write a book called calling himself the Second Messiah?
Yeah, I saw that.
This is like very schizophrenic type.
Hmm.
Like, how I heard this guy is like work with the government. How was he able to get up that type of position with that? Like, if he's that's crazy.
So it was his father that worked for the federal government. I haven't heard any reports that this individual worked for the federal government. It was his father that did.
Diligent, another detail from the Daily Mail, it says that he was listed as living in the home with his dad, mother, brother, and sister. His siblings are ages 35 and 38. So it seems like the whole family was still living together. So I'm interested to hear the details of this, if that many people were living in the home together.
Wow.
Okay, so here I'm gonna I think we should just listen to the video and then we can dissect what he says. We'll go from there. It is a little bit of a lengthy video, so it's about 14 minutes and 34 seconds long. We'll listen to half of it. We can talk about there. We can decide whether or not we want to continue to listen to the rest of it. So again, if you could, we have about 700 people in here. If you could go down in the bottom right corner, repost the space.
Yeah.
Trying to get as many. Go ahead.
A lot of confirmed reports that X or Twitter is removing a lot of videos of the sensitive part, so it is confirmed.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
That is getting taken down, but all the war videos of the Palestine and everything is not.
Let's talk about that. Yeah, that's we're in an era where you can decide what's gruesome and what's not. What they're saying is, I've seen unlived children, and I've purposely not gone into that algorithm too much because that's really, really dark stuff to see over and over. And that's really amped up the whole Israel-Palestinian debate. I've seen unlived children. I didn't watch the whole video, but I saw Israeli, I believe it was IDF soldiers, pretend to be hospital workers running up in the hospital, then unlived 3 Palestinian militia members. And you can see a lot of dark stuff on there from that side. I saw a lion snack on a dude's leg like it was a chicken wing on X. Is still on there. But now for this, it's who knows, that we don't even know what the real reason is they pulled it down. Great question. Thank you, OL Joe. Says, I wonder if seeing that stuff too much changes a person. I'm confident in saying it does. I don't know how, but I am confident in, if you're watching children being unlived, or even if, I don't know if they're real or not. It's hard to tell if these are real or not. It looks crazy. I mean, it's so common. I'm seeing Palestinian children unlived, and it's like I'm finishing my coffee in the morning. It's like, I mean, that's just wild. We're at Faces of Unlived. Capuch says demonic behavior. I fully believe in demonic behavior. Yes, I was going to do a story on that. Did I talk about that? I think I mentioned that in the, I don't know. Actually, I did a rant on the Taylor Swift AI photos, and I don't think I mentioned that. Well, Ray's saying Twitter hired 100 moderators after the Taylor Swift AI images. X, they said that they hired the moderators to help with child prawn on the app to kind of curtail that. But it did happen after the Taylor Swift AI images. That's what it seems like it's really about. So, yeah. Let me go back to the Twitter, the X Spaces. Oh, wait. GB says Facebook content moderators sued the company for damages for just that. Yeah, yeah. Ian Crossland talks about that working for Minds and seeing a lot of stuff that kind of, he said, it messed with your mind.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah, how many times have we had replies with videos of dead babies and dead kids to our spaces, Ross, that didn't get taken down? It's absolutely nuts to me. Absolutely nuts. And it was like 20 minutes after you posted that it got taken down?
I think shorter than that. Maybe 15, possibly 10, but it's really crazy. X is really trying to keep this video not spreading. So, but I already seen many people complaining. So
I wonder if the government used that portal to get in contact with them.
Go. So, all right. Well, let's go to the hands real quick, and then I'm going to play the video. Keem, welcome to the stage, buddy.
Hey, I just saw what was going on from Raw Alerts. I my question is, do you guys know if it's still on YouTube?
it's down. It was
Okay.
up for 6 hours, but it was just taking down.
Yeah, as soon as I saw your tweet, I contacted them. I'm like, hey, I literally sent them your tweet, my YouTube contacts, and I was like, hey, someone needs to get this video down. But obviously, I didn't go search for it myself because I'm not into that shit.
Yeah, it was very graphic, very disturbing. So it was just, I got to give credit. He's not on, actually, he is on the space. Philly crime update. He's the one that broke the story. We have a little news chat and everything. And yeah, he's the one that sent me our news team and everything, the video and everything. And man, we were super disturbed by it. So I want to give huge credits to Philly Crime Update. So thank you, Philly.
Shout out to you, Philly Crime Update. Good.
Let me, somebody hit me up on X and they said they thought it was fake. And I said, I don't know. We're in that era now where there's no way to tell as a society. It is impossible for us to tell if something's faked or not. Absolutely impossible. You would have to rely on someone who used the program to check it. And if you use the program to check it, you would have to rely on the results of that program. And you would have how do you verify the results of the program? We might generally have a thought, but there's no way to confirm. There was a picture of Joe Biden in camouflage, like he was in a military uniform. And I still don't know if it was real or not. Maybe somebody, I didn't check it, but I just saw it on X and I didn't care enough to look it up. We don't know. There's no way to tell if this is real or not. It could easily be faked.
Work, man. Way to be prompt. And but what's funny, Keem, is that the edited version, Roz downloaded the video from YouTube and then edited it so that the graphic part was covered up by a blurred part of the screen, and X immediately still took it down. And I'm not sure if that's the version that X is taking down across the app. But why would I don't see where they? I mean, on what grounds do you take the edited version down? I don't know, man. It's a little, I don't know.
It's wild. When you go on my page, my page is pretty much set for 18 plus because I have not safe for work and content in general. But I have the video posted on mine, pinned, and they're not gonna touch it.
It's a little strange, because you have to look at it two ways. One, it's newsworthy. Two, it's proof that this guy did whatever. But then also someone died, and if you were murdered that way, would you want that video everywhere? You know what I mean? So there's so many different angles with stuff like this to consider.
That's true. And it's an active investigation And the guy is in custody. I just want to throw that out there. I'll actually give a good summary in just a minute. I do want to play his video though, because it's pretty wild. The audio is, anyways. Go ahead, Jared, and then I'll get to the clip.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm looking at his Facebook profile right now. Yeah, pretty wicked and brutal killing. I'm sure we'll get more information throughout tomorrow and tomorrow evening. But yeah, I mean, I get why actually X is taking a lot of these videos down. I mean, obviously I wanted to watch the video, but not sure if I would obviously I would like to hear the video, but maybe the beheading itself, I don't know if that should be up online because
It doesn't.
what was that?
He didn't actually like film the beheading. Like he didn't film the beheading. He was holding
The reports, yeah, that I saw that in the reports that he didn't film that part, but they are saying basically definitively that he did the unheading, and we didn't see that happen. That's a pretty big. I don't think we know that for sure, even though the Daily Mail is saying he did it. I guess it would have to be allegedly.
his father's head for a few moments twice during the video, which is pretty morbid and grotesque. He picks it up, he gestures with it, he tells people. I think he threatened other people. He also. We're just gonna listen to the clip. It's pretty wild. Hold on. Give me a thumbs up if the audio is good. And here we go.
No, we won't. Let's fast forward. I think they played about 6 minutes of it.
It was so graphic, but
Philly crime update, and the other guy.
They played less than I thought.
Pennsylvania.
Okay, that's the dude right there. So we'll start here.
Eric Garland.
Oh, this is who naming names. Let's not. You playing dangerous games here on YouTube.
Across the country.
Nah, bro, I don't want to hear that.
A lot of what's going on that we don't. We're all just seeing all the social media stuff right now. They did lock him up at Fort Indiantown Gap. And for those people that don't know, it's a military base. In the middle, not in the middle, but towards the middle of the state of Pennsylvania.
We have to figure something out here. Let me just stop it for a second. Ireland, Quinn Rice, thanks for stopping by. A great comment here says the edited version is still being removed because of the Fed judge address being given and call for violence. So, generally speaking, I don't have a problem with that. I just think we need to have a definitive. How do you manage this stuff? And to be honest with you, is the federal judge's address being displayed illegal? I don't know if it is. We had this discussion I obviously would not condone, don't want to see that happen. But that came up with Elon Musk and that GPS that was tracking him. And I've seen Laura Loomer accidentally post people's addresses. I don't want anybody's address posted anywhere. There's no need for anybody to know somebody's address unless they got invited to their crib. But is it illegal? I don't know if it is. And if it's not illegal, then it should be left up there. And if we as a society have a problem with it, then we need to do legislation for it. And there's not very many things that I would say we need legislation for, but we need legislation in the digital world. And it needs to be universal. So I don't know if posting that is it public information or not. I don't know. I don't know if that's, and if you post the address and you don't say anything threatening, is that legal? I guess it's illegal if it's with that. So who determines if his calls for violence are illegal? There was no trial. There's no arrest or anything. We need the way to manage digital in our society is going to be different than in the real world. We need a process for that. So it's consistent across the board. What's legal, what's not legal? Did he say, is any part of his video illegal? Okay, it looks like it is if you've got you've got the dude's head in a pot. But then who determines that? And even though it looks obvious, you need to have something there. I don't know what we do, but I mean, damn it, we've got 535 people in DC or whatever. Figure it out. And I would say before you pass any new legislation, repeal some old legislation too. I don't want to just pass legislation and then keep the old stuff there. Get rid of what's not needed or working, so you're not just piling legislation on legislation.
He was traveling out there. I don't know. I meant to ask. The person's not going to respond at this time now, if they recovered the head or not. But anybody that, if you really want to see the video, we reposted it. It's still under my username. You could see it. It's the unedited version. For some reason, it's still up. And the gentleman, COC Nation, right under me, it's his video. They're the ones that actually released it first. So
Stopped in. It looks like X removed your post saying this post violated X rules. So,
did it? Okay.
Yeah. So it looks like it's happening to everyone that's posting the beheaded.
I
video.
imagine it's because of the federal judge's address being mentioned. It's doxing a federal judge. So, and I didn't know about it until we were just listening to it, right? So it kind of sketched me out.
We're gonna go take just a quick side note. Looks like there's breaking news. What did I tell you about the news cycle? I don't know if this is actually breaking now, but that's where I'm seeing it. Did we hear this earlier today? I'm sure we've heard it earlier today. I don't know. Maybe this is just breaking. House Homeland Security Committee approves articles of impeachment against Mayorkas. The vote came after 1 a.m. Wednesday, so we'll get back to this story in a second. We've got more. I mean, for me at least, this is breaking news that the House, that doesn't mean he's impeached, just be clear, but it looks like the process is going further, is what that means. Here's my tab with it. This is just the news. House Homeland Security Committee approves articles of impeachment. I need to get my website with this many ads on it. I don't know how to do that. I have Google on there, but they put so many ads on it, it's crazy. House Homeland Security Committee approves articles of impeachment against Mayorkas. So let's take a look and see what that means here. The GOP-led House Homeland Security, they've gone ahead and approved it. Let's see. After a marathon markup. The facts are indisputable for 3 years. This is Chairman Mark Green, Republican, Tennessee. Secretary Mayorkas has willfully and systemically refused to comply with the laws enacted by Congress, and he has breached the public trust. His actions created this unprecedented crisis, turning every state into a border state. I agree. So I'll just cover this real quick and then go over what are the next steps in order for a potential impeachment. And we'll cover that in a second. I'm just going to summarize that. I mean, it's very similar to any other impeachment, but we'll go over that in detail. So that's what we're looking at with Secretary Mayorkas. I played a clip from Keith Woods earlier about Mayorkas on my live. Articles of impeachment against Mayorkas, which passed 18 to 15, deal with, and this is just out of the committee. So does it have to come out the committee? I think it does have to come out the committee. The House makes all the rules, so it doesn't even have to go to a committee. The House can make their own rules on this, but or I have to look at what's in the Constitution or not on that actually. But 18 to 15 deal with a breach of trust and willful systemic refusal to comply with the law. What I think, so now the articles will be considered by the full House of Representatives at a later date. So we don't know when that will be set. And so that, to me, what it looks like is the next steps are we're going to have a House floor vote. You bring the articles out of the committee, bring them to the floor of the House of Representatives, and then all you need is a majority vote. And to my knowledge, they barely have the numbers, but the House will have the numbers to impeach him, is what I would predict. It's just a majority vote. Then after that, it goes to the Senate, just like president. Yeah, so after the House does the impeachment, which I think is going to come, the process would move to the Senate and they would have their own trial in the Senate, just like the president. And the Senate is like the jury. They'll call witnesses. And if the Senate votes, so the Senate will vote, it will take a 2/3 majority of the Senate, not a simple majority. Would he get impeached? The numbers are damn near 50-50 in the Senate. I mean, it's possible. It is possible he would get impeached. So I think what's going to happen with Mayorkas, before I get back to the unheading, is that he's going to end up resigning. And you kind of saw that with the impeachment today. He was it was kind of the vibe like, well, Mayorkas was working off of what Biden was giving him. And that's to tie himself to Biden so Biden can't cut that rope, the umbilical cord. Like, I don't know that nigga anymore. I don't know that nigga. Who? Mayorkas who? I don't never knew that nigga. That nigga was acting by himself. Is basically where they were going. Let me not be too loud. I'm gonna wake. I don't wake anybody up in the crib. But that I think he's gonna fall on the proverbial YouTube sword, and that helps Biden. Mayorkas doesn't have to go through all this. He's not going to go through a Senate trial, I don't think. I think he'll just resign. That's just my opinion on that. And then because that helps Biden, because Biden can say, look, I've been tough on the border. I had Mayorkas resign. It works perfectly for Biden. So now Biden's job is to get Mayorkas to resign. How does he do that? That's like West Wing. You ever watch it? West Wing was a great show. There's a lot of great presidential shows out there. But let's get back to the topic. Senator Markwayne Mullin challenging the union guy to a fist fight seems pretty tame these days, doesn't it? That's so true. Oh, Joe, that is so true. With how crazy the news is. Remember, we talked about Markwayne Mullin challenging the union guy to a fight. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. Yo, wow, even Bernie Sanders was like, calm down, bro. And that seems like nothing. I mean, that's like a nothing story. Remember that story from a few years ago? I think there was a woman driving down the street with an AK-47 or something like that. And I was like, damn, this is crazy. Looking back at that, I wouldn't even have talked about it. It's not even a thing anymore. It's not even crazy anymore. The stuff that happens that's crazy, like Donald Trump's, remember the first time Trump got arrested? It wasn't as crazy the fourth time. The fourth time is like, okay, well, this happened every other month he got arrested. Okay. I mean, the pandemic really got that ball moving, man. It was the pandemic that did it. The pandemic got us used to this craziness of whatever the government says. Yes, daddy. Yes, daddy. And we're still on that. We're still on that vibe. AK chick was in Oakland. That was a crazy story. Now I don't even know if I would talk about it now. Maybe I would have, but it wouldn't be nearly as crazy as it was when it popped off. We need aliens now. We need like full video of aliens to get to that next level of craziness. Let's get back to, I just want to hear a little bit. I'd actually heard this part of the live where we're at now, the X Spaces. And I think it was actually pretty good. So I think I'll go back to it. When they got into the conversation section, it was actually good. If you're just joining us, it is true. A man posted a video of unheading his father, the head of his father on YouTube. We did not see the unheading.
Even listening to the recording just now, because I wasn't aware that he did that.
I don't know. I gotta disagree with that. I think it's just because the beheading video is so graphic, but there's war videos from the Palestine and Israel stuff that's going on in Ukraine and everything. So
yeah, I have even weirder, crazier videos than this one. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's so fresh right now and so many news agencies are talking about it that they're trying to slow it down. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, I did look at the clip. It was only, I think, like 14 seconds long, so I didn't turn the volume up, but he did display the head in a bag, and I don't believe probably that was a clip where the judge was mentioned.
No, the judge mentioned.
No, so the entire video is over 14 minutes long. There's 2 times where he displays his father's head. One time is in the bag. He's holding the head in his hands. The second time he does it is later on in the video. He has his dad's head in a pot, like a cooking pot. The second time that he holds it up for the camera. So yeah, but that was later on in the video. So yeah, you'd have to watch the entire thing to catch it all. Go ahead, Sergeant. I'm sorry.
I do see that.
Yeah, sorry, I was just saying that I think they doxed him in like minute, because I recorded the thing earlier and I heard that and I wanted to timestamp it, but it's like in between minutes.
I'm gonna watch it in the chat. Thank you, Vaughn. I was saying I'm not gonna play it. Obviously, I'm gonna watch it as we play the X Spaces here. People are watching it in the chat. It is on the Breaking 911 website. So if you're on X a lot, go to Breaking 911 on X, and their first post under their pinned post is a link to the website. And I'll give you my impressions. We're getting live reactions to the Unheading video, and I'll come back to everyone after I'm just gonna scan through it and give you my impressions.
Minute 3 and 4 where he doxed it. I believe it doxed 2 judges. And then
Yeah, and we're going to continue to listen to the rest of the clip because I just want to give everybody some context to this guy's frame of mind. Some of the claims he's making, obviously he's calling for a bounty on numerous judges and individuals in our government. Christopher Wray, he's mentioned more than once. A lot of very wild claims, and
I'm watching the video, and let's just say he doesn't take long to get to the point of the unhead. The first thing that you see when you go to the video from Breaking 911, and I see why they put it on there. I have a website myself, and you want to get clicks and hits on the website. You put the video on your website and say, here it is. Everybody's looking for it. Everybody doesn't have Telegram, and it's wild, man. It's wild. He's got the head. It's what it looks like. It's hard to tell if it's real or not, but he's got the head wrapped up in saran wrap. I don't know, is he trying to preserve it, or I don't know, keep his bed clean? I don't know what the purpose of the saran wrap on the head is. I guess it's kind of messy when he's got leakage all over the place, but this is like Dexter, man. This is wow. This is absolutely wow.
and requests made by this guy. Let's go to Philip, and then we'll go to Jess, and we'll listen to the rest of the clip.
Thank you. I just want to tell you that I don't know if you guys remember, but a few days ago, the House presented a bill about militias that they're trying to either ban them or restrict them, and it's our God-given right in the Constitution. And now all of a sudden this video pops up and this guy says he's the head of a militia and he beheads his father and he calls for killing of government employees. What are the odds of that? I mean, does anybody else see this, or am I just a big tinfoil hat wearer?
No, I don't think you're crazy at all. The first thing I thought of when I was listening to this was, okay, who was talking to this guy? Who was influencing this guy? Are there any federal employees like undercover, getting this guy all riled up? Like that's where my mind went immediately.
Yeah, I'm super skeptical individual. Mace can attest to this when it comes to the conspiracy stuff. Even though I do enjoy it, I'm very skeptical, right? And my first thought when I was listening to this guy was he's like programmed, right? That was like he's reading from that script, but he sounded so robotic, right? That I was like, this dude has been like programmed. That was my initial feeling as well. So let's go to the hands real quick. Jess, go ahead.
I can't add. All right.
Oh, wait. Go ahead, Philip.
Thank you. We already know the CIA is able to program people, and they go after people that are on antidepressants. So this guy,
I'm going to play this for a little bit, just a couple more minutes, and then they're going to play the second half. I'm going to drop there. I have a take. It's completely unrelated. I was going to do a recording on this, but since I'm live, I'll just do it live on what's happening with Eric July and the Ripperverse. So obviously a hard right turn from where we are right now, but I'll do that in just a second. If you're interested in the Ripperverse, and there's a lot of drama around, I'm not getting into the detail of the drama. I don't know the detail of the drama. I can just give you a big picture thing from what I've seen on it.
Guy's father already worked for the government, so he probably knew government people, and he was probably already on antidepressants, so they programmed him.
And then after that, I'll do the MKBHD augmented. What did they call them? Apple glass, or whatever they're calling.
Him to do this. Like I said, they make you do things. They tell you what to do. They get friendly with you, and now that they put this bill up in the House about the militias, now they're going to start pushing this militia stuff. And what's
Well,
more
let's.
gruesome than a guy?
Well, hold
A
on, hold
kid
on, hold on. So let's listen to the rest of the clip
okay.
and talk about what we do know before we jive way off the deep end into all the speculation. Yet we can do that, but let's just do it after we've heard the facts for a minute. Jess,
Okay.
go ahead.
Oh, yeah, real quick on that. I take antidepressants. I don't think I've been programmed, but yeah, I just want to put that there. But just first and foremost, anything that's said in this video is not anything that any of us on the panel are saying to go do. This is just a video that somebody has created, and violence has taken place. So we are not representing this. Please do
Nor do
not
we endorse
follow.
it or condone it in
Right.
any way,
Please do
shape, or
not
form.
follow the directions. This is just a news space about it. Okay.
Thanks for that, Jess. Kevin, and then Jared, and then we're going to get to the clip.
No, I was just going to say what you said before about how programmed that whole thing sounded. I mean, this guy's dropping $1 million bounties on people. He's got 10 YouTube followers. He's living in his parents' house. This is obviously just some guy looking for attention. And I seriously, like, I don't know. This just seems like the natural outgrowth of the culture that we're in, where people commit mass shootings for notoriety or fame or whatever. This guy's putting out $1 million bounties. Are you kidding me? He's in a militia. If that guy's in a militia, then the country's over. Let's be honest. Look at that dude. Like, I know I'm being tongue in cheek here, but this is obviously some kid that is banged up and like obviously needed some help and didn't get it. But I mean, you really think this guy's got the $1 million bounty on Justice Roberts that he's willing to pay out, that he's putting on YouTube?
I mean, he didn't look very banged up to me, though. Like, what do you mean by banged up? He looked like he was pretty taken care of.
No. I mean, not well upstairs. Like, there's something wrong with this kid, obviously.
Yeah, definitely, obviously. Yeah. I mean, the sheer act of being able, cutting
someone's head off is not. It's not Game of Thrones, where it's one swipe of the sword. Like,
yeah,
clearly this kid, there's something wrong with him, and for him to be putting out this, I've got millions of dollars on a bounty, like, this is sad, man. Like, this kid was long gone before he made these videos.
Well, we're gonna go over his Facebook profile in a minute. It's still up, and it was pretty disturbing. Years of pretty disturbing posts. So yeah, and apparently he was a quote unquote musician. Jared, real quick, man, go ahead, and then I'm gonna play the clip.
Yeah, I don't think he was programmed or anything. I mean, I think that's honestly just crazy talk as of the moment. But he mentioned a lot of the buzzwords that we do hear in American politics right now, and no one wants to talk about it. I do think that we'll have to talk about it at a certain point of the rise in the crazy talk and political speech that both sides say all the time.
Come on, man. Nobody's talking about unheading people, though. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I guess we'll listen to the video. But I also did learn more information. The community is saying, one neighbor is saying, quote, he had siblings, we know about him, and that this is not surprising. There's always a mental health to this side as well.
I'd say so.
I think, I don't think this is the first time that he made a death threat to his dad or to his mother or, whoever lived in the house. So I think, when these situations happen, they like to become famous, and we sometimes prop them up. And I think that's always going to be the way, because we love talking about it, and we have to, because they're just such gruesome things. But the people that are reacting to it say it's very normal, and that they graduated high school with him and whatnot. But I think we should listen to the video.
Okay, so that's where we're going to leave that topic. And that's a good point. It's a debate. I used the picture of the dude in the thumbnail. It's a debate. Should I have just gone with the Sub-Zero and not shown the picture of the dude? I'm not even fully sure if I agree with my own decision. Yeah, so yeah, he was reading from a script, no passion in his voice. Just weird. I don't know if he was programmed or what. We don't know what's going on, but that was weird. And he was on the FBI radar already. Just a bizarre. I didn't see the pot. What's the time stamp for the head in the pot? I only saw the beginning head, and I tried to scan through it, but I didn't see the rest of it. But I'll drop that for now. Let's go over to the Ripperverse. Yes, there is. I don't know if there's a segue I can do on that. Maybe Yaira's gonna unhead somebody in the new book coming. Yaira Winter is here soon. That's the best segue I can think of to go into the Ripperverse. There is drama there. Let's go into. I don't know this person at all. I don't follow this. I think this is Ethan Van. How do you pronounce it? Shiver. And they do a lot of talking on this, and I guess him and E used to be friends. I didn't follow this. I didn't know, or I don't know how cool they were, but I guess they weren't enemies at one point. I don't know what happened, but here I'm just gonna play a clip of this, and then I'll go into my big picture.
Shown no exceptional ability to do so outside of exploiting business acquaintances and creating a hype machine. The longer we delay this discussion, the more of a negative impact this entire situation is going to have on this entire community. I agree.
So if you're just jumping in, you don't know what's going on, I have a couple books here. I don't use the Alpha Core one because I have a green screen and their colors are green. And I'll get back to this. And so Eric July put together these books. So this one is not written by Eric July. This is the latest Alpha Core. This one's by Chuck Dixon. Did the writing. Who did our Joe Bennett? These are famous people. I'm not a comic book guy, but it's high quality stuff. The dude has executed. This one's done over 1.3 million in sales. I don't know if that includes shipping or not, but big numbers for a comic book. I like the size of it. It's about 100 pages. I mean, it looks beautiful. It's kind of hard to tell with the glare off of the light, but it's just quality. It's not like a floppy where, I got my kids $1, a old school Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic book, and walking up the stairs, he accidentally tore it. I was like, don't worry, those floppies always tear. And then, I've got a bunch of them. I got probably 5 books. And I'm going to get Yaira. Yaira's going to do big numbers. So Eric July started the company, the Ripperverse, and it's been successful. And there's people who have criticism, which is perfectly fine. So that's what we're jumping into now, is people criticizing the Ripperverse.
Let's be straight up here. The well-meaning, the Friday Night Tights crew are not creators. They don't draw. They don't write. They are fantastic critics and personable personalities. I don't say this as a slight. They're all top-tier talents who could be utilized to push a quality product and be a force in the culture war for good, but Ripperverse ain't it. Ripperverse ain't it. I'm a big fan of Rippus when he's in his element.
So you get the vibe there. Let's go forward. They used a Rippa clip later on. This is the most I've watched of any of this kind of stuff, so I just want to get a taste of it before I give my take.
And they understand that I'm on some other shit. I'm okay with that.
What the fuck does that mean, Eric? People are seeing that, and people are seeing that I'm on some other shit, and I'm okay with that. You know who was on some other shit? Cecil at Tampa Bay Comic-Con when he went to the sex dungeon. Few people were on some other shit. Wait a second, let me think. There are a few things that probably shouldn't exist.
Okay. I'm not in the mood for that. So he's, you get the vibe of what they're doing there. And here's my take on it. This is actually a great thing for Eric and the Ripperverse. It's a sign. It's very good for them. It's a sign that they're doing great things. And from what I see from afar, what it is this is a new ecosystem. This is a new economy. That's what's happening here. And before I get into that, part of it, and I'm not going to talk about Ethan Van Skyer or whatever his name is, because I don't watch him. So this is not going to be, he's just the one that I see bubbling up with a lot of this stuff recently. So that's where I started it. But this is just in general. So this does not apply specifically to Ethan. And I don't have any beef with these. I don't know who he is. But here's what I'm seeing. This here, there's a lot going on with this. And let's start with the DEI angle with the Ripperverse. The DEI push that we've seen in the country is not just it's not a racial push, it's not a trans push. All of that is just, like I always say, it's funneling into the Democrat Party. And there's a little clip from the live earlier today where I talk about the DEI stuff and what that really kind of means, especially pertaining to the Ripperverse. These people promote hiring, they say DEI, when it's not really skin color, because my black ass isn't black because I might put on a red hat or be a libertarian. They say if you are a Democrat operative, you get, that's what the airline position is. It's not really black. It's, are you a Democrat or basically, are you non-MAGA? So what they say is we will hire people based on that. And slowly over time, we'll force those who don't obey to not make money out of the marketplace. I think that's a lot of the reason why, a little bit off topic, you're seeing some of the pushback on the Ripperverse. Not pushback, but attacks on the Ripperverse. It's a non-DEI institution. It's his own thing. He started from scratch. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to have to want to get a job for Marvel. Marvel, they have the DEI gatekeepers that would never give Eric July a job, even though he has the talents, the business acumen, and everything else. So he doesn't go through the right channels. Back when he used to do debates, you used to see that. I do my own thing. You can't stop me with any DEI initiative.
Middle MAGA.
And that's part of it. He went around the gatekeepers. And a lot of people didn't like that. And we saw that on people he would debate on this channel, going back to when for ISOM 1. I have ISOM 1 right next to me. So that's part of it. But let's go into more of it. What I'm seeing here is evolving a lot. And it is sad to see grown men turning themselves into gossiping about other men. And if you want to take it to go after people with political power, I'm all for it. But other than that, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I don't have any beef with that. It's just not for me. Turning yourself into a gossip queen. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here. Some of it you can infer, you could guess is jealousy and anger that he was never gate kept. Because Eric July even said growing up, he had the aspirations of maybe working for a major comic book or Marvel. It basically would be Disney. But he had his own talent, his own foresight and business acumen, and all of the woke stuff leading up to this moment pushed him to do his own comic, and he was able to get the money from his channel, loyal followers, donating super chats, and saving that money. I told all of this to my son. This is how he did it. He saved his money. You can't just come up and have a comic book. Invested over $200,000, $200,000 into it on a risk. On a risk to create something new and to go around the Marvels of the world. And that's the video I played there. But what the big picture of that is that his success now that we talked to, now he did that and he's successful, he's created a sub-economy. It's a compliment that Eric and the team have created their own ecosystem, their own economy. I'm not a comic book head, so people will look at this and maybe they're comparing Isom 1 to the best comic book they ever read, and maybe if I had that perspective, I would be like, Isom 1 is terrible. I don't know, but it was great for me. And my wife even commented, like, I like how you have your own little things with the kids that you do. There's certain things that I do mostly with them, and she does some things too with my 2 sons. And Isom is the thing with her sons, and my sons will go to my wife and talk about Isom, and she doesn't know what she's talking about. She's like, yeah, it's kind of cool that you guys talk about that. And so, I mean, it's been wonderful, and we're waiting for Yaira right now, excited for it. I don't see 1/10. I don't see that. Maybe it's just the circles. Obviously, I'm not a comic book person, but I don't see any energy towards any other comic book company or release that I see towards the Ripperverse. So if you're a comic book person, which I believe Ethan is, I believe he has his own comic books and part of it seems like maybe he's not releasing them, having problems. I don't know, but it's not easy to execute. And that's part of the reason why this is all happening. If you're in the comic book world, and Ripperverse is the biggest thing in the comic book world that's attracting views and division on both sides because of that DEI gatekeeping, whether Ethan or not, again, this isn't about Ethan, you can jump into that fray and you can pick a side, or you can make money however you make money in this economy. You're a comic book person. Where you got to talk comic books. If you're a political person, you're going to talk politics. I talked Crowder versus Daily Wire, and I hope to not talk about it in some type of drama type of way that's just not interesting to me, but in a way that, how does it pertain to the culture war and the bigger picture? But this is a win for Eric, especially as Yaira is coming. That book's going to do more numbers than I thought now because they're giving him more press, which is good. Eric July is in a great, from afar, I don't know his numbers and his books, but from a buzz standpoint, on the internet, you want A's or F's. And if some people are trying to criticize him, he got a lot of A's of people who love the books. And I got a Ripperverse shirt on, and he's going to get A's. So for him to get F's as well from whatever section, for whatever reason, that's actually the best of both worlds. This bruh is not doing any advertising. He's doing like the Tesla model. So there's now a way for people like any detractor to step in and monetize hatred of it, whether it's legit or not. It doesn't matter. So I'm not even trying to make a comment on whether they're hates. If you don't like the book, you don't like the book. I don't even care. But that's where you're making money, though, potentially. A big part of creating, just to let you know, as a creator, you probably already know that, is common sense business, is efficiency. Just before I found out about this unheading, I was trying to map out my process. I was doing I'll even show you real quick on ChatGPT. I'm like, I got to get more efficient. I've always, my whole time since I started doing these videos, I've been trying to become more efficient. It's been like a number one goal to be efficient and not lose the quality too. You can be very efficient and put out garbage videos, which I have, everybody has, but you've got to balance the quality of the video and the efficiency along with it. And so I can show you here real quick. This is how important it is to like, whoa, how am I going to be efficient? How am I going to do this thing? So I'm using ChatGPT is off the hook right now. They added new things to it, and it's just really good. I don't even need to use, I did upgrade the package so I don't run out of chats anymore, so I don't need to use Google's garbage. I know they came out with a new one, but I don't even need to worry about it. So look at what I was doing earlier before I was doing this, then I found out about the unheading. I was like, let me go live, and I'll get back to this. I'm mapping out my video process, figure out the topic, choose a title, write the head outline for like, what's my take on it? What's the news story on it? Name the file. Naming the file is important. So when you upload it, the name is already in there. Is a big thing about all these little things with YouTube. Get a meta description for the file. Use the keywords and I use tags. I mean, big channels don't have to use tags. I don't even know if the tags work or not. It seems like they do work to me. record the video, edit the video, upload the video. I didn't even put the thumbnail on there. That's a big thing. The thumbnail as well. So you go through it as a creator, you're looking at your efficiency. And that every creator does that. So Ethan's going live 4 hours, half a day. He's going 4 or 5 hours live. I don't know if he's on there the whole time or taking bathroom breaks or what. But he's on there, and that's a typical thing if you're a professional type of streamer. I can't do that. This isn't my full-time job. But you can monetize anything that happens with Eric's business. He hires the Saska twins. He releases a new book, and he announces this, and he does a live. There's now an easy way. How do you choose what to talk about? Part of the creating is figuring that out. And if all you have to do is pull up a Eric July video and pull up a couple tweets, that type of prep, it's not like you have to look at a news article and really understand what you're talking about. You already know this. You're a comic book person. You already know the topic. You pull up a couple tweets. Eric July, that's zero prep. And you go live with zero prep. And you've got a 4 or 5 hour live. I don't know. I'm assuming maybe you get super chats. Maybe you monetize it. And that's how you do it. You can monetize hatred of it. And then you just repeat that over and over again. Tom McDonald has that. Tom McDonald came out with Ben Shapiro. Well, what was he trying to do? Create the conversation for people to react to. So you don't have to do much. Your hourly rate is high. You did a 5 hour live. You made X amount of dollars from the live, and you only had to prep maybe, I don't know, an hour or half an hour of prep with that. So you did a total of 6 hours, and you got paid for the 5 hour live. If you were covering a 5 hour live with all different news stories and stuff like, you got to really know what you're talking about, at least to some extent. It takes way more than just an hour prep, or even half an hour or hour prep. So you put less hours in it. You get enough. Your risk, your reward is not going to be as high as Eric July taking over 200K, and in a very smart way. He could have burned all of that. He could have burned all of it. Taking 200K, being smart, going through the process, and coming out with 3 point whatever million the first book did. So the risk was really high, putting 200K and hours of time into it, but he got the millions on the back end. Here it's like, okay, I put a half an hour in, a 5 hour video, I make a little bit of change or whatever. So that's the thing. What you see from these people, they're bottom feeders. They don't create anything new. They react to it. Look at the homie Black Pegasus. Black Pegasus is not just a React channel. Black Pegasus, and I put myself, I'm a bottom feeder too. That's not a diss. If you're not creating new music or a new something for other people to react to, you're a bottom feeder. The homie Black Pegasus, one of the reasons I really like, he's creating music and he reacts. Not everybody does that. I mean, it doesn't matter. Who cares if I respect you or not or whatever, but that's a cool thing to be able to do both. So what you're seeing is a bunch of catfish at the bottom of the lake eating while Eric July is at the top. He's the shark. He took the risk. He's biting off the big pieces of meat, and then some of the driblets are coming down, and you've got these people who are using hate or positive. I got some driblets. I'm not really looking at it that way, but I fall under the category. I did a positive video on the Ripperverse, and it's authentic. I got for another channel I have that's not making any money, but I got thousands of views. So I'm a bottom feeder too. It's not just negative, it's positive as well. And that feeds the ecosystem. So you got the Ripperverse, you do this, you release a book. People love it or hate it. They're the bottom feeders. They talk about it, they react to it. Then it gives you more trends, it gives you more hits, and it's an ecosystem. It's an ecosystem. And that should be good. I think Eric July is happy about it. I mean, it's kind of annoying, but I could see that to me, it's like, man, this is kind of whack, because he just wanted to do a fun book. The bruh has all kinds of well-known, controversial political takes. And that hasn't really caused all this stir. He does a comic book that's apolitical, and all this stuff comes up. So that's basically what it is. It's more profitable to do the hate than the positive or the balanced for some people. And this whole thing is a product of online curation and algorithm and maximizing efficiency. And that's what's happening with Eric July. Big picture. I don't care to get into the nitty gritty of all the other stuff. Ray says the video is so obviously fake and he's reading the script going back to the unheading. It's almost funny. Yeah. His band is dope. Yep. Yep. Backwards. His band is dope. I found Eric during the pandemic. He blew up during the pandemic, had really good videos, beat YouTube multiple times. They gave him strikes and he got them removed. That's not easy. GB, thank you. GB said they're great quality books. I agree completely. Let's take an end. Let's end on the tech side of things. Man, some topics are so kind of in the wheelhouse that I really want to make sure I'm prepared to cover them. This won't be the Neuralink. I'm going to get to the Neuralink at some point when I'm prepared to talk about it. If you don't know, they've started the trials. Let's head over to one of the best creators, one of the greatest of all time. And in an age where a lot of these longtime creators who have made millions of dollars, a lot of them are retiring. MKBHD is not, and he's unboxing the Apple Vision Pro. Let's take a look over here. I've never done a video reacting to MKBHD, so hopefully he allows that. Damn, that's a big box.
All right, it's finally here. This is the Apple Vision Pro. This is the beginning of Apple's spatial computing journey. Their first headset, AR, VR, wearable face computer, whatever you want to call it. And this is the unboxing. So
now, it's very important to distinguish AR versus VR. VR is a completely different universe, unrelated to reality where you are. AR is augmented, meaning you could go out in the woods, put glasses on, your whole crew can put glasses on, and you could pretend like you have guns and you're playing Call of Duty in the woods with animated weapons and hit points and all that kind of stuff. Instead of going into a completely fake world, augmented reality would use your world and you could play a game in your world or interact with it half virtual, half real, which is an important thing to distinguish.
everything that I show you guys in this box, it's going to be a representation of what you would get should you decide to spend the $3,500 that it takes to get one of these, or in this case actually $3,900 because this is the 1 terabyte Vision Pro. You'll see the accessories, you'll see it booted up for the first time, and this is very much the beginning of our Apple Vision Pro investigation and series of videos. So definitely get subscribed to make sure you're among the first to see that when the rest of those come out. So, big box, but the headset is relatively small. Shout out to Jerry Everything for the knife.
That's his knife? Wow. He has a branded box cutter knife. That's
And
cool.
inside,
Jerry Rig Everything.
this is a really soft box. Whoa. And this here is a third little box. So, this is an incredibly flimsy box, but I'll just take this one out. So the three things we have now are the Vision Pro headset in this box, the Vision Pro Zeiss lenses, so these are optical inserts, so if you have a prescription, then these come in the box and they will magnetically attach to the headset, so if you wear glasses, you can still use the headset.
Dope.
And this is the optional $200 extra Vision Pro travel case. This thing, this is a whole aesthetic. I'll get to that in a second. I'm just gonna leave that right here.
It's a big thing
But
to
this is the
travel
headset
with.
itself. It's gonna slide. Yep. Out of this. So this is like the size of I mean, it's bigger than a Mac box. This might be bigger than the Mac Studio box, but
Oh, it's way bigger. Oh, Mac Studio. I'm thinking
there you
about
go.
Mac Mini.
And it's got all the pull tabs. I do expect pretty good packaging here. This is such a high pressure first gen product for Apple, so I'm expecting pretty good packaging for this introduction to a first gen thing. Take the tabs off. And then it's like a shoebox. Okay.
It looks like a VR headset from there.
So there's the headset. So the headset comes with this little cover on it, and it's dressed up with one of these bands. This band right here is the one that you see in all the commercials. It's this really soft, stretchy fabric material, and it's in this sort of cardboard head. This is the Solo Knit Band.
It's important to be comfortable.
Comes with this. That is called the Dual Loop Band. So I'll put this to the side real quick and see what else comes in this like shoebox size box. So this pops off. This is quality. And then we're into the inside, which is a Designed by Apple in California pamphlet. Oh, I bet there's stickers in here. Oh, there's a microfiber too, okay. Then there is the light seal cushion. Oh, I think you get two of these. Yeah, there's one thin light seal and one thick light seal. I'll get to that in a second. And at the top, there's a lot of explaining to do. Some more heavy Vision Pro paperwork. And this is...
It's weird, a lot of paperwork. Normally it's online. You don't get too much paperwork with Apple products anymore.
The dual loop band. So this is the second band that goes both around the back of your head and over the top of your head. We'll try that out for comfort over the Solo Knit Band. And then there's your power. So the battery that comes with the Vision Pro is this thing right here. It's all very white. Everything in this box is either white or silver.
Clean. I like it. I like contemporary minimalists like that. That's dope.
It's pretty heavy. So this smells pretty new. It's got this white braided cable. And I don't know if Apple's even called this MagSafe, but at the end of this cable is one proprietary connector right there. And that connector is what plugs into the side of the headset. And this is the battery, the 2.5 to 3 hour battery that comes.
Another proprietary connector. Ugh.
Comes with Vision Pro. It says on the back actually, 3,166 milliamp hours. I know a lot of phones that have 5,000 milliamp hour batteries that feel much lighter than this, so I'm curious why this feels so heavy, but that's the battery. And then in order to get more than 2.5 hours or to charge the battery, you have the cable, USB-C, and the wall brick. So let's see what the wall brick says. I hope it charges fast.
The old school wall bricks.
30 watts. So not super fast, but this is a 30 watt brick, USB Type-C.
They're going pretty cheap on the power on the bricks now.
And then a C2C braided cable. Okay, that's it for the inside of this box. So now let's go over these accessories. So okay, let's do the paperwork first, because this is probably the most common stuff. Everyone's gonna get this. This is a little booklet of what's in the box and a sort of a first. And that is
I'm gonna go through ahead here and see. I don't think he's gonna show video with it. I don't think he can. Can he do that? I wonder if you couldn't record the screen. So that's him wearing it.
decent. Okay, I can see you guys. So there's a little hello script, and it's booting up for the first time. But I'm gonna save this, all of this setup and all of this using Vision Pro. That's gonna be the next video. So last thing I'm gonna show you is the Zeiss lenses. If you happen to wear glasses or have a prescription.
Okay, so I'll look forward to the next one and probably do another one on the next one. And I want to see the actual, everybody wants to see the actual screens. We've only seen a little bit of that. I'm going to be out, hitting the rack. Peace. I'm out. Good night, Ireland. Good night from Ireland. Middle Maga paying all that cash for all that cardboard. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Jorge looks a bit fake. If the police weren't at his home, I'd be suspicious. Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody. And Have a good night. I'll be in touch. Peace.